Welcome to this short instructional video about the administrative options in Mappus. Once you're logged in as an administrator, you can see an orange menu in the top left corner. If you click on this menu, you have a series of options. Now, if we begin from the beginning, you have the option of creating new groups. This group could be your class or your team or any number of people who you'd like to group and later assess as a collective unit. Now, when you're creating a new group, all you have to do is give the group a title. And this title will be visible to your audience, so choose a name that's representative of them. It could be Team A, and then maybe write a note to distinguish Team A from another team that could have the same designation. So you could write Team A 2018, for example. You also have the option to enter in a private note that could add a little bit more detail about the circumstances of creating this group. That could be, for instance, for use in conference. All you need to do is click on the blue Create Group Session button, and you'll automatically be given a unique URL. This is the link that you can send to all of the participants in the group. Alternatively, you can provide them with the group's PIN code. Now, this is the number you see here. Our experience tells us that if you have the option to send them a link in advance, do that, and then you're sure that they are in the correct group, but you have the option of using the group PIN code. Once you've created groups, you have the option in the administrative access to view your groups also. And this will give you a look at all of your participants, along with some information about who owns the group, when it was created, and then you can view the group result. So that's the group access. Now you also have the option of generating some reports based on your group results. If you click the Advanced Report button, you have the option of setting certain criteria for your report. Now, do you want to look at a certain type of visualization? Do you want to see the group's competency wheel, or would you like to see what their total score is? Do you want a specific overview of the different respondents? You can choose what you'd like to visualize. You also have the option of setting up some filters for your test. Here you can choose which group you want to generate a report based on. You can click several groups at a time in order to create a new overall group that you'd like to analyze. And you have the option to set other restrictions. For example, if your respondents have taken fewer than 5 minutes to complete their test, they'll be excluded from your report. You also have the option to set a date time. So if you know that the group has been active within a certain time frame, you can make sure that there are no extra results by setting a from and to date. In addition, you can prioritize certain questions or certain information about your users. If you've asked about their gender or if you've asked about their age, you can filter results based on these informations. In addition to creating an advanced report, you also have the option of creating an evaluation report. Now, this report evaluates two groups and compares them with one another. You have a target group and a benchmark group. This, for instance, could be used before and after you've done a digital competency study or a certain course, or you could use it to compare two completely different groups to see what their strengths and weaknesses are comparatively. You have the option to name the group, so you can anonymize your data and call them Group 1 and Group 2, rather than what they are registered as when you took them. For example, Team A and Organization 1. So in the report, they'll be shown simply as Group 1 and Group 2. Now for both of these groups, we can see there are 0 users. So for the sake of showing you, we'll just take all of these default users, and obviously the comparison will be non-representative because these two groups are exactly the same. But what you can see is that there's some information about the first group, how many respondents, their overall competency proficiencies, when they completed the survey, and how long on average it took them to complete the survey. Now what you see here is the colored competency wheel is your before group, or group 1, and then etched around the edges you have group 2, which is your comparison group. And just like your advanced report, you have a number of visualizations, your overall scores. So in summation, as an administrator, you have the option to create and review your groups. You can generate an advanced report where you filter out certain search criteria, or you can create an evaluation report where you compare one or more groups with one another. You also have the option to manage administrators and manage your organization. That is, create other users who can have access to some or parts of this survey tool, perhaps in order to review a report or to manage their own groups.